What's going on, everyone? It's Marco Hanna, and last month we were in Singapore checking out OPPO's latest devices, the OPPO N3 and the surprise device, the OPPO R5, and now we finally have one of our own, so enough of us talking, let's go ahead and unbox the OPPO R5. So OPPO's doing things a little different this year. Unlike the previous OPPO devices we've unboxed, the R5 comes in a matte white box, but perhaps that's because the device itself is in white and silver. On the outside, things are pretty simple with the OPPO branding on the front and some more branding and specs on the back side. As we can see, it says OPPO R5, lists some specs, and also lists a partnership of OPPO and Schneider Optics, which makes the glass for the 13 megapixel rear-facing camera. So let's go ahead and cut into the package, lift up the top lid, and take a look at the OPPO R5. So at first glances, we are taking a look at a 5.2-inch OPPO R5 in white and silver trim, and picking up this guy immediately tells you how thin this phone is, coming in at only 4.85 millimeters. That is extremely thin. We will go ahead and move this guy to the side and take a look at everything else that comes inside this box. We do have a SIM removal tool here, and underneath that is actually a case that comes inside the package for the OPPO R5. This sort of reminds me of a design of the Samsung Galaxy Note flip cases for the Note 3. Underneath that is a few pieces of literature, some warranty information, rapid charging information, only the usual stuff. And lastly, a micro USB to USB cable which connects to your rapid charger. On the right side, we do have the brick itself. Obviously, this is an international model, so we won't be using this home in the United States. And right above that is a nice looking pair of earphones. Let's go back to the OPPO R5, and from first glance, this is one great looking device. It's built entirely out of aluminum glass, and the metal trim on the sides are all hand polished. It also feels really great in the hands. It has a really good weight, and it's so evenly distributed that it feels like a piece of solid metal in the hand. And on the inside, it's also a pretty solid place as well. On the front, we're taking a look at a 5.2-inch 1080p AMOLED display, and on the internals, we're looking at an octa-core Snapdragon 615 processor, which has two quad-core processors and also the Adreno 405 GPU, 2 GB of RAM, and 16 GB of built-in flash memory. We also have a 13 megapixel camera on the back and a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. And once you have this guy booted up, it's running Android 4.4.4 KitKat with the latest version of ColorOS, which ditches a lot of the older features and redesigns the useful ones in the previous version of ColorOS. Only questionable changes is the omission of the app drawer in favor of a springboard type of setup with all the applications on the home screen. We'll just have to wait and see how much I like this setup. And also, I'd like to apologize for the screen flicker. I'm not exactly sure where that's coming from. Any shutter angle I dialed in on my GH4 still produced the flicker. So make sure to leave me some comments below on your thoughts on the OPPO R5 and also the upcoming unboxing of the OPPO N3, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And as always, my name is Marco Hanna, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.